Good afternoon, Nigeria. Welcome to Voice of the People 90.3 FM. This is the new Nigeria debate. My name is Chioma Innocent. I'm your host for today. I'll also be joined by Esther Nwachukwu in a minute. I have via the telephone two gentlemen who will be talking with us today on what's going on in the Nigerian polity. As you do know, on the new Nigeria debate, we discuss politics, we discuss policy, we discuss the strategies, we discuss the policies that affect Nigerians. It's another edition of the new Nigeria debate, and we invite you to walk with us this afternoon. I have via the telephone two honorable gentlemen. First up, I have right here Bobby Egosa Obayuwana. He's a member of the PDP. He's a lecturer of mass communication at the University of Benin and also a public affairs analyst. And we also have the national spokesperson of the New Nigeria People's Party, Honorable Ladi Johnson, via the telephone. But let's begin with you, Sir Bobby Egosa. Good to have you here. Nigerians want to hear from you on what's actually going on with the People's Democratic Party. I understand that you are affiliated with this party, and as a professor of mass communication, do you believe they have been able to communicate to Nigerians exactly what is going on within the party? The national spokesperson of the party, Ini Ememobong, at least the Turaki faction, let us know today that he was at INEC office, and we understand that they are trying to, sort out some of the issues that might hinder their coming out in 2027. Talk to us about the PDP.
Okay, thank you very much for having me once again. Good afternoon, Nigerians. What is currently happening in the People's Democratic Party is that the political players and actors are actually in a topsy-turvy situation whereby issues pertaining the legality from the proviso as provided for in the Electoral Act is beginning to cause pandemonium and controversies, not just within the People's Democratic Party's fold, but amongst all other registered political parties within the Independent National Electoral Commission's purview. So the national spokesperson of the party, Honorable Comrade Ini Ememobong, has actually gone to resolve some of all these issues with the INEC they need for the PDP to successfully and seamlessly carry out an online e-registration, which is mandatory not just for the PDP to carry out, but for all other political parties. You would agree that if you study Section 67 in the Electoral Act, subsection 3, it makes provision of the proviso whereby it is mandatory for all political parties to carry out due online e-registration for its members as part of the political prerequisites with which political parties are going to be successfully screened and certified fit enough to contest in the 2027 general elections in Nigeria. And the national chairman of the party, talking about His Excellency Alhaji Abubakar Tani Turaki, has also come outside to give his position that this mandatory e-registration exercise is key at this point in time when the party seems to be undergoing some form of reform from the internal wranglings from the political actors within the fold. And it is sacrosanct that the issues of legality and the issues of transparency and sanctity of truth as far as the constitutional requirements for which political parties ought to be registered to contest for any election is put into due consideration. And that is why the leadership of the PDP, in its wisdom, has thought it wise to say no. Some of these clarifications ought to be made for the members of the People's Democratic Party to know that PDP is still very much in the contest, that the People's Democratic Party is not a party that can be swept aside, and it remains one of the largest political parties, not just within the length and breadth of Nigeria, but within the African continent as a whole. So the publicity secretary has gone to clarify these issues because there were rumors and information prior to this time that the majority of the coalition parties and majority of the opposition parties are not successfully start carrying out in the 2027 general elections that is slated for next year. So the PDP thought it wise to go back to its decision-making process to see how they can make proper adjustments and readjustments to their plans and ensure that they incorporate these plans to fulfill the requisite and required conditions for which they are to contest under the independent electoral commissions. So the admiration of not just party faithfuls, but majority of Nigerians who are looking for an alternative against the current ruling administration that has failed.
All right, I hear you, sir, and I understand you. But when you say the PDP is still the biggest party in Nigeria, is it really? The party is heavily polarized within themselves, and they have a lot of their members moving to other parties. How is it still the biggest party? In fact, some Nigerians do not take the PDP as seriously as they used to. They don't see the PDP as the main opposition party in the country right now. In fact, they've given that to the ADC. It used to be the Labour Party before now, but how big still is the PDP? One would say that members of the party are either being delusional or they are being just being optimistic.
Now, to further answer your question, there is no political party in Nigeria that does not undergo challenges. No political party in Nigeria that is entirely or totally devoid of internal wranglings and disagreements or oppositions within the key political stakeholders in its fold. Even the APC, that is the ruling party, they still have their internal squabbles and wranglings. The ADC, that is the new bride of the nation, where many persons have actually decamped to, they are also facing some internal wranglings and challenges within the party. And even the Labour Party you mentioned, prior to the 2023 general elections, many Nigerians were not interested in a party called Labour Party, but because of the prominence of political actors like Peter Gregory Obi, the Labour Party came into limelight. And after the general elections, we saw the aftermath of the Abure-led faction and three other factions within the party tearing the party into bits followership to move out of the party into the ADC. So this issue of internal wranglings and squabbles is not just peculiar to the PDP, but I can tell you that we still have states in the PDP control. We still have very few states, though sadly currently in Nigeria that the PDP control, and is still very much active. Yes, we would agree. The political actors always go to political parties where they can seek refuge and by extension gain political prominence and relevance. But what we are seeing right now is that we are seeing a rejuvenation of a reformed PDP. We are seeing a recalibration of the old narratives that do not really appeal to the general interest of passionate members in the country. We should not look at it from the political actor's perspective. Okay. An average Nigerian in the street is still aware of the PDP. An average Nigerian in the street fellows have always been a consistent trajectory in the political annals and history of Nigeria. You will recall that in 2014, a lot of people started moving from the PDP, and they joined the coalition forces of the APC to bring the APC into power. So it is part of what political actors will continuously do as far as the Nigerian political scene and environment is concerned. Right. But I am telling you for free that if you look at the way the PDP organized its national convention last year, you will recall that a lot of membership and followership was recorded in Oyo State, where the convention was carried. The PDP has continued to wax stronger. Recently, they actually won the Federal High Court judgment sustaining the fact that political party issues can be better settled within political stakeholders and not necessarily by political actors that are not legally and constitutionally as well as duly recognized by interested party stakeholders. So the PDP is still very much popular in Nigeria. Okay. The PDP is still very much popular in Africa. And PDP, don't forget, PDP is the only opposition party that has the highest number of governors and the highest number of political representatives from the opposition's perspective when compared to other political parties outside that of the political party in power.
All right. Thank you, Sir Bobby. Let's now go to NNPP's spokesperson Ladi Johnson. Sir, talk to us about the digital membership drive of your party. We understand that is a very strong prerequisite for that INEC has laid out, and that is in the Electoral Act as to parties that can actually provide candidates for the upcoming elections. Talk to us. What's your digital membership like? At least we've heard about the APC, we're hearing about the ADC. Let us know what the NNPP is doing in that regard. Are you with us, Honorable Ladi Johnson? Honorable Ladi Johnson, are you with us, sir?
Okay, well, while we're trying to connect with Honorable Ladi Johnson, I think he muted himself while the PDP guy was speaking. All right, but I'm going to throw my question at the PDP representative. Sir, well done for your work. Well done for your good work. I must say something, though. I want to ask you. We already know with the situation, the PDP, and the fact that members are already in court. Today, we've heard that the Turaki faction has been recognized. Wike has actually ordered there's going to be a Congress, and that particular Congress, the Turaki faction has said that they do not recognize it, and they were not the ones that put that Congress together, since the PDP's Turaki faction has done a convention. Now, there is also a propensity to recognize the Turaki faction. When you have INEC giving you a mandate that by the 2nd of March, every digital registration ought to have been done and concluded, and you still have court cases in the party, is it possible that PDP may not field any candidate?
No, it is not possible. I know that we have a lot of cases in court. But if you look at it from the perspective of legality and constitutionalism, I can tell you for free that the Turaki-led faction of the PDP is doing everything possible to merge forces within the political party and to follow all legal steps within the ambit of the law to ensure that PDP is not just ready for the presidential election, but legally and constitutionally, internally and externally, fields a candidate that is fit enough to give political succor to the teeming population of Nigeria that is looking for an alternative right now in terms of security, in terms of education, and what have you. The Wike-led faction is only trying to play a spoiler role. They are only trying to fire blanks, and they be firing blanks. But like we always say, the law is an ass. The law has no face. Everything that the Turaki-led administration is doing falls within the ambit of the law, falls within the ambit of the party's constitution, falls within the ambit of legality, and even within the proviso that has been made possible by Section 67 of the Electoral Act, Section 3, Section 88 Act. And the PDP is a party that believes in respect for the rule of law. Wike is only trying to play a spoiler role because he wants a situation where he can either move to use the back door to invalidate the PDP's chances of wanting to field a candidate so that he can continuously work as the Minister of FCT to his current principal, His Excellency Asiwaju Ahmed Bola Tinubu. And we all know that the Wike has also gone ahead to carry out so many anti-party activities by flagging off the renewed ambassadors and gender in Port Harcourt. This is a man that has been known for political controversies over time. This is a man that has been known for carrying out political violence within the party. This is a man that has been known to consistently fight the political actors within the party that have made genuine efforts to pull the membership of the party together. And the e-registration, talking about the e-registration, let us not forget that prior to even this time, the PDP had initially carried out e-registration. Even in Edo State, where I come from, we carried out e-registration seamlessly, and we have our database. And even the current state party chairman, Anthony Anselbeni, can attest to the fact that the PDP have always consistently collected the database of its members. However, to the political narratives within the party's fold,
all right, sir. We couldn't really hear the last thing you said because we're losing you there. Can you hear me?
Hello, me now. Can you hear me now?
Round up your thoughts, please.
Yes. So the Turaki administration is making deliberate constitutional efforts to ensure that they follow all the requirements, the fundamental requirements that is needed to ensure that PDP fields a candidate, and it is inclusive of the e-registration process. So we are also using this medium to encourage all well-meaning People's Democratic Party faithfuls to key into the e-registration and to ensure that everything is done within the ambit of the law, because that is what the Tanimu Turaki-led administration of the People's Democratic Party stands for.
Very quickly, sir, what if, now that Wike has gone to court, what if there is another court order that terminates this particular court order, and then members have gone to register, that is, the Turaki faction has gone to register, and then Wike now gets to win it, then what happens? Wouldn't there be a confusion? Even INEC may be confused. They may want to wait for the Supreme Court judgment in this regard, because the court case is back and forth. So if this is happening in this very small window that you have, and INEC has said if you don't field candidates digitally registered, then obviously the party and its candidates will be disqualified. Definitely they will not be able. Don't you think that is the agenda of whom you just described that is causing the decimation of the People's Democratic Party?
No, the truth is Wike and his cronies want to decimate the party and make deliberate efforts to ensure that it is not duly registered for the 2027 general elections. Sure. Because he is afraid that if the PDP has an opportunity at election, the current administration might be sent packing by the votes of Nigerians who are desperately looking for an alternative against this current administration that has failed in all ramifications. And I can tell you for free that the reason Wike is pushing for this court case is not for the interest of PDP. It is not for the interest of Nigerians. It is for his personal selfish interest that he wants to continue to propagate within the administration of Bola Ahmed Tinubu. He is pushing for a situation where if he gets an opportunity to invalidate the registration of the PDP, he will get an opportunity to become minister for another 4 years. And this begs the question: what is the essence of Nyesom Wike fighting cat and dog? Is he not supposed to be fighting for the interest of the party? Is he not supposed to be fighting for the interest of Nigerians? Is he not supposed to be reflecting the true tenets of democracy, fairness, equity, and transparency? Considering the fact that he's even a lawyer, so using all those court processes to stall and to dilly general election will not deter the Turaki-led administration, because what Turaki and the PDP leadership is doing currently is that they are following everything within the ambit of the law. Yes, it is, and it has often been boasted by some parties that are affiliated to the Wike-led faction that Wike owns the Supreme Court, and that Wike can be able to do everything politically possible to ensure that he gets judgments in favor of him and his crony. But I tell people that the law is a respecter of nobody, who is going to be watched by the eyes of the world. The Supreme Court is for a reflection of the hope of the common man, and that is why our legal system ought to be the hope of the common man. That is what Turaki stands for. That is what PDP faithful stands for. Right. That is what every right-thinking Nigerian in the street stands for. So what Wike is doing is may not be able to carry out his evil plan, because the PDP leadership is undergoing a recalibration process that is rejigging, re-energizing, and reforming the party into a more formidable democratic fold that will lead to political prosperity for Nigerians and not for party faithfuls come 2027. So we that belong to the court of public opinions, we that belong to the court of public opinion, and we are academics, we have the view that there should be a level playing field for not just the PDP to contest, but for every duly registered political party to contest the elections in 2027, so that Nigerians can come out and make their choices in 2027.
All right, thank you so much. Mr. Ladi Johnson, are you with us, please? Hello, sir. Are you with us?
Yes, I am.
All right. Good afternoon, sir. Welcome to the program, sir.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Thank you for your patience. Very quickly, how is the NNPP gearing up? All right. I mean, in terms of their e-registration, ahead of, are they actively going to participate as a political party, independent, or are they merging with any other political party? I think last week the ADC membership, that is top members in the ADC, Peter Obi, Rotimi Amechi, obviously David Mark, and Atiku Abubakar, and the likes, they were urging all political parties to come together, that it is not something one particular political party would do. There were some NNPP members who were there. I don't know if they had debunked or they were just there, but there is a solicitation for all political parties who could one, if they indeed intend to make sure that they defeat the APC in 2027. But then there are talks in the other quarters that the opposition is not vibrant. They're displaying tendencies of being spineless. Some of them have been bought over. I mean, look at the ABGA House of Rep member who has actually, switched over to the APC after complaining of the laxity in administration and the fact that they were not able to give them monies for different projects. You condemned all of that, and after you did that, you now defected to the party that you were condemning. There are talks that they offer you money and then you join. So your party, are you ready? Do you actually seem ready? We're not hearing the energy, we're not hearing the pulse, we're not hearing you people talk, So what exactly is the NNPP doing now? The window is very short.
Thank you very much. When you say you're not hearing the pulse or the energy or us talk, maybe you're not listening. The press conference you referred to last week was between the APC, the NNPP, and in fact it was also authored by the PDP. But for some reason, they were not at the press conference. Or I believe something happened when we came late, and then I don't know the left, but basically offered by the three parties. So there is activity going on. In this, let me use the word game, politics. You all have your styles, you all have what you're going through, and you have what you're doing. So we are preparing like every other party, like every other opposition party, basically. We complained about the shortness of time to do various things, but we do not feel ourselves that everything is good to help we get. So we are doing all that we have to do. We started continuous, the membership, reviewing the membership register, membership registration, and at the right time, I'm sure that you will get either questions or more alignments and realignments, and we will all be ready for the elections. Well, if people think that the
Hello, sir.
Yeah.
Sir, we lost you there. Can you, repeat what you just said, sir?
I said if people feel that the opposition party will not be ready to contest the election fully, they are going to be in for shock.
But here's the thing, the APC seems to have been ready from the moment President Tinubu took over. If the political parties are still trying to be ready about 1 year before the elections, can Nigerians really trust them that they know what they are doing?
Exactly.
Because right from when President Tinubu won, we've been seeing his banners everywhere. We've been seeing the City Boy movement. When you come to Lagos, when you go to Third Mainland Bridge, when you go to the airport road, you see it house to house, everything. They're gearing up. We're seeing his face. We're seeing his name.
You see, that is what we say in Nigeria. All that's wrong seems to thrive. The man is meant to be governing. We have begun campaigning immediately after. They are meant to be governing. And that's the problem. The Nigerian voter seems to be unaware of civic duty and everything. and seems to be unaware that the government in power is not defending them. When you say that immediately after the elections, they had part of us said, okay, let's give them to midterm, which is the normal standard around the world, so that it doesn't, campaigning is one thing, government is another thing. But you see, again, you look at the whole thing, you see that institutions seem to be, you understand, doing things and saying things that are in line with the things that they want, that the APC wants. So these are the things that you have to cope with, that you have to battle against. But if the Nigerian voter seems to think that, oh, it is all right, and why aren't you doing the same, then I don't think that we have a democracy.
All right, sir. You described the political scenario as we stand right now, but then it is the job of the opposition to say, we will not be bullied, we will not be induced, we will not be influenced. It is also the job of the opposition to come up with a strategy. If you already expected the mechanism that we're complaining or people are lamenting about, they ought to have had something up your sleeves. But it feels like the opposition just decided to lay back and allow things just to unfold on their own. Obviously, Bola Ahmed Tinubu knew that it was not going to be easy peasy with what happened in 2023. They decided to go back home or go to their inner sanctum and construct device means through which they would recalibrate the party. For example, for the APC, they felt hold on, sir. They felt that key states that they lost to, they had to find out what happened, and they decided to use the media to set up an agenda. And the agenda was to create different mechanisms, which a couple of persons are complaining about. But the idea is, it seems to work for them. So, what countermeasure did the opposition bring to play? Because as it stands now, it felt like the opposition was not even watching. It's like they were just there and they did not see certain things, while the APC saw opportunities and loopholes that it took advantage of. For example, the Electoral Act that we're all clamoring for what do you call it? Direct upload transmission of in real time. There were other aspects of the Electoral Act that we did not see or take note. Diaspora voting was not taken into candidacy. Exactly. No, aside from even independent candidacy and diaspora voting, the situation with INEC, where members are now need to be digitally registered, and obviously it's a major thing. Otherwise, your candidate will be disqualified. They gave you a very short window for that. That's not the only aspect. A situation where they decide how political parties will go about choosing their candidates, whether direct or indirect, and they say no more indirect primaries. And these are measures that they had used in time past for themselves to choose candidates. So these were the aspects that were quite lackluster for the opposition, that they were only clamoring for one thing. And it seemed like it worked because they said direct transmission along with manual. So in other words, during the elections, they can say there is no network in this particular location, so let's switch to manual, and which will be very convenient.
Choma, all this thing.
That was it, sir.
All these things you're saying are things that the opposition said. Talk is cheap. You see someone, you see the group, you see someone buying, if they're buying members of the opposition, or you see some people being moving to the EFCC immediately, or you see something happen. What have the press done? And they take it that, oh, this thing wrong. Look at we say that the opposition have an ideology. And I always ask the questions that do Nigerians have an ideology? Do they have ideology? The people you're going to, they are still talking about education, healthcare, whatever. Are they listening, or are they saying bring money? No, it's all right to say all the things. The opposition are not speaking. Is this the fault of the party? If some of the members and they are willing to go cap in hand once they are approached by someone in the ruling party? Is it the fault of the people in PDP if you have someone like PDP who has already the PDP doing all sorts to disrupt the party? So you see, it's always easy to talk and look at it. But when you say opposition, you think there's one party or one person or 5 parties or 5 people. How about the people within the system? But it is a thing that we look at what we are doing, what we are all doing. And you can only do your best. If the government in power is doing things to increase or to decrease the practice of democracy or access to what have you, then you begin to think. If we were a thinking people, and I'm not abusing Nigerians, you begin to think, oh, how did this happen in so a country? What is happening now in Nigeria? But in Nigeria, we seem to just sit down and say, oh, it's the opposition, they're sleeping. Oh, the opposition hasn't done this. So I think it's much deeper than that. I'm sure my colleague from the CDP will not say something about it.
Mr. Ladi Johnson, thank you so much. We sincerely do appreciate you. Okay, Bobby, are you still with us?
Yes, I'm still very much around.
So, Bobby, what next for the PDP? I mean, consider me as a Nigerian who actually wants the political space to be quite engaging, interesting. The opposition is not really, they're not really giving it. They're not really pushing, giving that pulse. And so a couple of Nigerians are just, numerous persons are just waiting to see eventually what the outcome would be, and possibly the APC wins, then fine, we'll continue and then look forward towards 2031. But before then, you can never tell. Anything can happen in politics when it comes to things like this. It may seem as if the APC is actually sailing the tide, but what's next for the Turaki faction of the PDP? Let's just hope. What next now?
Before I say what is next for the Turaki faction, let me place this on record that the cornerstone for any democracy is the reflection of the will of the people from the ballot.
Exactly.
Right? So that is what the Turaki Tanimo-led administration of the PDP stands for. And what he has often said is that there should be a level playing field for not just the PDP to contest in the 2027 general elections, but for all duly registered and constitutionally established political parties who fall within the ambit of the laws and who are able to fulfill the fundamental requirements that is expected by the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC. And so what is next for the PDP is that the Turaki-led administration portends hope for the PDP faithfuls, portends prosperity, gives an opportunity for all members of the fold to be united. The emblem and the slogan of the People's Democratic Party is unity, peace, and progress. And that is what the Turaki-led administration has been consistently pushing for. So the Turaki-led administration is using this medium to call on all party faithfuls and by extension Nigerians that all hope is not lost and that the PDP is coming back stronger. The PDP is beginning to show signs of readiness by winning these court cases consecutively and consistently played out in the FCT local government elections. Even though the APC used its incumbency power to rig most parts of the FCT, the PDP was still able to secure a chairmanship spot and a councillorship spot in the keenly contested elections at the Federal Capital Territory. It portends positive signs for the party faithfuls and by extension Nigerians. So what is next for the PDP is that we are focused, we are passionately driven by the tenets of democracy, the rule of law, equity, fairness and balance, transparency and sincerity of purpose. And that is what we will use to move to the next phase of the court case that Wike and his cronies are bringing to us. And we're also using this medium to call on all other opposition party stakeholders for everybody to come together to form a cohesive apparatus of states so that we can have a formidable force that can be able to change the very dilapidating, very deprecable, very retrogressive, renewed shege and backward narrative of this current APC administration. The PDP cannot do it alone. The PDP needs to work with relevant political leaders and stakeholders, and by extension Nigerians, on the need for us to have sanity and sanctity of faith in our growing nascent democracy from this part. And the only way it does that is that through this e-registration, they should continue to sensitize and galvanize support from all faithfuls. They should go back to seek support to improve our community-based initiatives and to ensure that modalities are adequately put in place for a successful and smooth campaign ahead of the 2027 general election. Yes, there will be challenges. Yes, there will be pitfalls. Yes, there will be stiff resistance and opposition from Wike and his political hallelujah boys under the presidency. But I can tell you for free that the Tanimu-led administration of the PDP is not sleeping on this case. And it is our duty, the only light on us, to restore power to the people, to rescue Nigerians from hunger, from poverty, from insecurity, from frustration, from failure, from retrogression, from all manner of negativity and backwardness, all those policies and programs and rickety projects from this current administration. And that is what we stand for. That is what the PDP stands for. And by extension, that is what Nigerians are looking for.
All right, thank you so much for being part of the conversation today. Mr. Ladi Johnson, thank you as well for being part of the conversation today. We sincerely do appreciate you for giving us your insight on your respective political parties.
Thank you very much for having me. It's always an exciting moment to be on VOP.
Yes, thank you very much. So, Choma, the interesting thing is the fact that the essence of the program is to look at the ideologies of political parties, ideologies that would reflect the interests of the people and not necessarily themselves. I mean, for example, we saw in 2012-2013 when the conversation about the APC came on board, how, galvanization and they were coming together, and they started off by having to look critically into the porosity in Jonathan's government, the vulnerability of his government, and that was what they utilized. Obviously, the introduction of Boko Haram, even if it didn't start then, but the abduction of 200 Chibok schoolgirls was the climax. Everybody was wondering, how can in a government you have 200 persons kidnapped and taken off? And it was an experience that the government had never had or experienced before. So how to go about it became something quite difficult, which led to those girls being kept in the hands of Boko Haram for so long that it became a bargaining chip, for the terrorists and the government. Also, Jonathan, because he didn't expect such a thing and they were not prepared to resolve the whole thing where it would not lead to the death or the loss of lives of those students. And the kind of persons he was negotiating with were trying to use the opportunity to make money for themselves. I mean, we saw how long it ran, which led to the APC at the time using it as a loophole to denigrate his government. And Nigerians at the time were so angry. I mean, you could see the heated passion with which they said, we can no longer continue like this. But it feels like things degenerated with the All Progressives Congress with the coming up of Muhammadu Buhari in 2015. But in comparison to what is going on now, insecurity and the economic situation, it feels like Buhari's administration, with how some Nigerians have been talking and complaining, is a little bit like fairly better. But then for the opposition, anytime you ask them questions, they will say the APC is a problem. Let me take Peter Obi, for example. I will say that because Peter Obi was a disruptor in 2023. He was someone that nobody saw coming, compared to what happened in 2019 when Atiku and Peter Obi ran together. They did not gain that momentum. Even people felt that they won. But in 2023, Peter Obi left the PDP a few months in the elections, joined the Labour Party, and we saw how massively the support was. For the APC, they felt that the reason why certain states that were supposed to have been won by the APC for Bola Ahmed Tinubu was because of what happened in 2020. That is the NSAS protest, which a couple of persons felt it was a Tinubu command, and so they were like, no, we can no longer continue. And secondly, some of the politicians in the APC too did not want Tinubu to win because they felt that he had held on to Lagos, held on to their political positions for so long. They wanted to break even, and they took advantage of the discontent of a lot of the Southwesterners to say, you know what, we need to break out of this, and this is the time we'll do so. But now it feels like in the dead of the night, INEC announced him as the winner, and they decided to recalibrate. Now, in the Labour Party, we began to see issues that seemed to be unendingly, they could not resolve it. They blamed Peter Obi for not having to put that party together. Also, Peter Obi obviously stayed for so long, and then we heard about the coalition. The coalition started off early last year, based on the reports we got, or even a year before last year, thinking of coming together to say that they're no longer confident in Tinubu's government. Now, he was part of the coalition. Yes, not a full member. Became a full-fledged member, joined with his people in December. Now we're hearing what is going on in the ADC. Obviously, the people that put the party together for someone else. Others are saying, could this be a trap, a political death trap for someone who was a major disruptor in 2023? Why am I asking that question? In the ADC at this moment, one of the reasons why they've not come to a decision is the fact that those who joined the party and made the party resonate are saying they want their party candidate to be the presidential candidate because it's the turn of the South. Those who brought and galvanized people together, the forerunner, which is Atiku Abubakar, are saying, how would I put the party together? And then you come and say, we should give you presidential ticket. Okay. No, we are going to do it different. We're running a democratic dispensation. It has to be done in a democratic way. And it feels like this is what has kept them in delaying in finding a solution to the whole thing. Now, the way things are, Choma, if it succeeds that he doesn't get that ticket, you would have polarized the party. Some persons will not support. They may claim that they would support, but they may not give in their all like they did for him in 2023, and they need the kind of support required if at all they don't want the APC to win in 2027. So there are talks that this is deliberate to make it as a death trap for him. Now, there are also talks that if the ADC doesn't respect themselves and do what is needful based on their supporters, that if the ADC doesn't do the necessary thing by zoning to the south, that they could go to another political party. Although we know that the Labour Party is still hanging by a thread, they become almost politically irrelevant with everything that has happened. Now, Dati Baba Ahmed came and said, we still have a position for you in the Labour Party. So, they were banking on that. And then we saw the twist with INEC. In other words, the window for any defection whatsoever is no longer possible. Like what happened in 2023, it was possible in 2023 because something like this was not in place. So a few months to, Peter Obi then defected to Labour Party. But now, he can't even defect.
That's when you register as a member of a political party and it's been submitted to INEC.
Exactly.
You cannot move.
So they ensured that window was closed.
So basically, the ADC, they are stuck right now.
Whoever is in the ADC is stuck right now. If you were banking on things not working for you, and you want to move to another political party, like what happened in 2023, it will be impossible because of the fact that they've given them a window. If you now want to defect and you want to carry people along to another political party, you have a very short time to galvanize, to resonate the party. Does the party have the grassroots recognition? Do they have ward chairman across all the local governments? Are they recognized across the 36 states? Because you need to galvanize support and membership from those regions. Will you be able to do that in the next 3 weeks? So obviously, you cannot defect to another political party. You have to stay in the ADC. As it stands now, it's like the INEC put them on their toe. So everyone is now trying to get themselves registered. But APC is already, way ahead. It's like they knew, and that's why they were massively registering last year. So with all of this explanation, there is no room anymore. It's very possible that if they decide to do an open primary and Atiku wins or Amici wins, then that's it, because the North will never share. Once it's 2031, it's their turn. They will not consider this thing that, let's do it like this, it's for the good of Nigeria. They must finish their own 8 years. And that's it. That's it for him.
It's very unfortunate because the opposition seems to have been sleeping for a while and they woke up too late. And we have this Nigerian adage that say whenever you wake up is your morning, but it seems the opposition woke up in the evening because morning has left them behind. When they say, oh, we're ready to counter, that's what I keep trying to ask all these opposition party members that we have on the show here is, you're seeing what those people are coming with. Are you coming with a pillow to a bazooka fight? Because then you will be totally decimated. If they did not see the whole electronic and manual transmission, that is a collabo coming, they were banking on Electoral Act amendment. The National Assembly has already disappointed them with that one. They did not see the whole digital registration being made compulsory. All of these loopholes, all of these clogs that are being thrown in their wheel, they did not see them coming. How exactly do they aim to surmount and overcome the APC in 2027? I keep wondering.
And you remember that this administration does not give that flexibility like Jonathan's administration did. Jonathan's administration allowed opposition to breathe. I mean, you saw the Occupy Nigeria 2012 protest. Jonathan was put in a coffin, in a metaphorical gesture.
And dogs.
Holy names. You can't try that in this administration. You can't even dare it.
The DSS might pay you a visit.
Not just the DSS, you can't. The polity has been so fragmented. They've introduced the nepotistic whatever. If you speak, they'll say you can't. Let me give you an instance, Choma. We were speaking about real issues yesterday, especially with this whole situation with Iran and how a couple of Nigerians that are that are Muslims, I think the Shiites or whatever, were protesting to say they stand with Iran
in Lagos and 6 northern states.
Now look at this. Do you know that on social media all they were talking about was, oh, these people just want to ruin Tinubu's government? And I'm like, I'm sorry, how do they want to ruin his government? We saw a picture, a video of some in Al Kaledi local government area where people are feed or something. That's not the only thing, all right? We heard that a military base was attacked. We saw pictures, and people are saying those pictures are not real, that they are old pictures or whatever. Our soldiers, our young soldiers, right, were killed like they were not. I don't know if you understand what I'm saying. Chuma, nobody said a word. No military official said a word. Mr. Bayo Nanaga did not say anything. Our president did not even come out to say anything. Our soldiers die every day. Nobody makes any comment. People are kidnapped. People are abducted. They see these things on social media.
And
they don't talk.
The worst part is these terrorists. They are so bold. There is a particular video right now where they are burning a military vehicle. They are making videos with their.
Do you understand?
There is a guy on Twitter that has been posting about how he was abducted in Kwara State while working on a farm. He was a supervisor for a farm. He and the tractor operator were kidnapped. They ended up killing the tractor operator. They told his mom to dress and wear a hijab when she was coming to drop the ransom. They told her to bring like different things. I bookmarked all of that because I really want to get this guy so he can come and talk. The name of the person that received the ransom, that person is using a tier 3 account because they sent 2 million naira ransom. They gave in cash about 15 million naira, so then they sent 2 million naira ransom again. The name is there, the phone number is there. This person will have an NIN. This person will have a picture. This guy has put all the information on Twitter.
And they haven't done anything. It's sad. Choma, it's sad. I'm telling you, our soldiers are being killed like they're not human beings. You know, they're dying on the war for. Let me not lie to you.
When they complain,
if not for these soldiers, I don't know if we will have a country. These young men who are dying on the forefront, I don't know, because literally 20-something. Now, guess what? They don't say anything. Nobody comes out to commiserate. So I was saying yesterday that the president needs to address the nation and be affirmative, because all this while he hasn't come out to address it.
Even condemning the people that were protesting.
Nothing. We just hear Bayo Nanaga, Boala, and Sunday Diary just tweet about it in passing sometimes. Or we hear President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has said. In fact, the Kwara situation, you saw it from the situation, the Pope in Italy on that Sunday reacted to it. The president may not even have been moved to go and visit Benue State. They're making it seem as if it's a farmer header crisis. It's not like an annihilation of innocent persons. They've made our military seem spineless. People who fought great wars, fought for South Africa. And I said, okay, the president should come out and affirmatively, please speak with Nigerians. Since December that America did what they did, at least you address the nation. Trump addresses the people all the time. He can do like 3 press, conferences in a day addressing his people. Come and address your people. Nobody is saying that this may not be politically induced or whatever, but speak with your. There's a disparity. Guess what somebody said? Somebody says that you want Tinubu to come and make such an announcement and seem as if no, he's aligning with America, that America should bomb the North so that opposition can use it to campaign and say Tinubu wants America to bomb the North. Choma, are you seeing that kind of headspace? No, are you seeing the reasoning of a person? I'm not saying don't support anybody, but at least let's be truthful. That's what the person is saying. That, oh, you guys, you don't even know how politics works. You guys are political neophytes. So you want him to come out and make that statement, and then they'll now say America, Tinubu is supporting America to bomb the North. Is it bombing the North or routing out these terrorists? Don't you want these terrorists out? Are we not all Nigerians?
Did you see the video of the NSA talking about how these people, they're Nigerians, they're our brothers, we have to take it easy with them?
They said it was an old video, not too recent.
Whether it was,
there was another video where he was saying that they have been decimating them. What we prioritize in this country is
actually playing the ostrich, because if you do not agree
with the politics,
it's not government-owned property. Yes. Even though Edo State, Ondo, Ekiti, Delta, we have stake, but it's just very small. The percentage is very small. So we do not have control over BEDC. Fidelity Bank have larger share on BEDC. They have better stake on BEDC. Now, I don't want to ask who owns Fidelity Bank, who are the owners of Fidelity Bank. I leave that to you to answer. Yes, sir. Tomorrow they will tell you I don't have anything. So it's...
Please, how does that relate to your protest about BEDC? What has the owner of Fidelity Bank got to do with you? Okay, fine, you're saying that they have a stake, so they're to be the ones responsible for providing electricity for you. So who is the owner of Fidelity? Who are you driving at? I'm asking. Who is the owner of Fidelity?
He wants people to mention Peter Obi's name for him.
Is Peter Obi the owner of Fidelity? No, let's ask. Is he the owner of Fidelity? I don't understand. It's screaming obsession. There are issues for...
It really is screaming obsession. That's so Gen Z.
I don't know, Choma. It's disheartening how you hate the administration. Oh, you hate the president. And guess what? On social media, they're distracting as usual. They're making statements as to what people are being partisan towards, what people are aligning themselves with. Others have felt that, okay, in the political space, Peter Obi should have retained and stayed in APGA, made the party a national party and not just a regional party, that the only way he can basically surmount all of this is for him to go back to APGA. Because if you have your home base supporting the APC, something that is not happening in Lagos State itself, right? So you would wonder that what is going on in Anambra State cannot happen in Lagos State. Obviously, you do know, right? I mean, the daughter of Chukwuma Soludo is part of the City Boy movement for the women, she's the one in charge of it. Obviously, Soludo is also trying to align with the center. Mm-hmm. So if you have your home state supporting the APC, something that is not happening in the home state of the president.
Okay, I see a bit of irony there. The people who say Peter Obi is nothing, he does not have any power, he cannot move people the way he did in 2023, and yet they expect him, just one person, they want him to go back to the Labour Party and fix the Labour Party. They want him to go back to APGA and fix APGA. It's not the person that you said he does not have any political clout. And then he's always the yardstick for comparison. Like you don't have any other person in the political space that is running for presidency. Everything is a comparison. Do you understand? So if you consider that person as your yardstick, how is that person irrelevant for you? I even think the All Progressives Congress sell Peter Obi more than his supporters.
inadvertent election to the conversation this evening. The number to call is 080, or rather this afternoon, I'm sorry, I'm used to the rush. All right, it's the new Nigeria debate. Let's get your reaction. 08036929933. 08036929933. The WhatsApp number is 0817175638. 0817175638. That is a WhatsApp number to call. Hello.
Hello, Chairman.
Yeah, we have Chairman Esther here. How are you doing? Good afternoon.
Okay, Chairman, beautiful ladies.
Yes, good afternoon, sir.
My name is Patrick.
Welcome, Patrick.
Titus.
Oh, welcome, Titus. Go ahead, please.
So is there, I think people being given APC just like, and that man is giving APC, they are just like. Look at what the problem is saying. People come to protest against NEPA. You leave what the protesters are protesting, even you join them, protesting against their own government. Because some people say, if we do not give us that in 2027, it's easy for him. And you are campaigning against people now. What concerns to PDP and the bank and what you are doing?
They said Fidelity is a major stakeholder, so they are protesting against Fidelity.
They are confused. All the law they do against the 2027 and 2027 election, all the 2026 electoral act, it's just against people. But we are watching them. What happened that let them continue, not that crime or protesting against what is happening in Iran, in America and Israel. And in our backyard, they are killing people. In our backyard, they are killing people. They never protest one day. How their people are being killed. They never come out and protest how their brothers and sisters are being killed. They are protesting of what they have in Iran and America, between America and Israel. I don't understand this country. I don't understand the system of this country. Thank you.
Thank you for your call.
All right, thank you, Titus. 08036929933. That's the number. 08036929933.
Hello.
Hello, Esther and Chioma.
AB, how are you?
I'm fine, good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Please go ahead.
See, we should stop this. Everybody has the right to protest. Okay, now we are complaining that the government is telling us not to protest. So people are protesting, we are telling them why are they protesting.
Nobody said, AB.
I heard this call now.
You see the problem. Now go deliberate twist the narrative. We are not complaining. We played you something that was said by the government.
No, it's, one of your callers said why they are protesting that they killed somebody. See, I'm a Christian, but I don't like people being discriminated. I believe in human liberality. Are you getting me?
Yes.
Everybody, even God respect the choice of his that see, in a Muslim, they are human beings. I get it. When we were growing up, at least they taught us, if we really want to win them over, we should not bend. So you understand, Lord will win them over. Are you getting the man?
Obi, are you referring to the protest yesterday by some tribe members on the situation in Iran?
Yes. And based on that, one of your callers said, why be protesting that?
Who said that there is currently a situation in your own country?
You're not protesting.
You're not protesting against the insecurity in your country. You're protesting for Iran. Like, what is your priority? That's what he's saying.
Wait, they are also protesting in Nigeria. Sure that in those states, so people protested for the basic security of Nigeria.
No, they're protesting because of lack of electricity supply.
No, I think last week, so people protest.
Baby, where are you driving at? Can we get your direct thoughts?
Baby is gone. Welcome to the conversation. Good afternoon.
Choma and Esther, how are you?
We're fine. Good afternoon, sir.
Yes, you see, just want you guys to take it easy, okay?
Thank you.
The law will take its course when the time comes. You guys have tried
I listen to you, occasionally, and each time I listen to you, I felt very, very happy, honestly. The program is quite exciting. Doing a very good job. You don't worry. When the time comes, everything will be put on paper, and you see the turn around. It will surprise the whole world. Let all the governors be satisfied. Let them support APC. Let them go to APC. But to the greatest surprise of the whole world, they will see when things will turn around. There are some people that are paid to stand by and talk jargon. You can imagine when they are killing other people here, there is no protest. All of them are quiet. But when they are killing another man comes in, they are protesting. So you can look, that is the kind of thing you want. Everybody quiet. Even the NSC quiet. I don't know what they call it, whether I'm only getting Oga, quiet. The GCSR, quiet. And people are dying every day. I feel it's a culture. The people must die every day. Look at the soldiers. Those soldiers that were killed, some of them, I told you, are killed. My wife are pregnant, close to 9 months. I'm telling you honestly.
Thank you.
All right, thank you. 08036929933. Please, when you call, tell us your name and the location you're calling us from. Hello.
Hello.
Good evening, sir. Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon, Auntie Esther. How are you?
We're fine. Welcome.
Yeah, my name is MK, calling from Okota.
All right, MK from Okota. Please go ahead.
I don't understand the way this people try to want bigger in life. Look at what happened with the state and the Iranian people. This is a man that has been terrorizing even the Iranian citizens. They have been planning this guy for long. And they told this guy to dissolve the nuclear weapon. He refused. He said he's a mighty man. He wanted to give you undo. And they bring him down. The Iranians are celebrating. I'll say to you. They are celebrating in the world. Our so-called Muslim sisters. When they are killing their people day after day, they know when they come outside saying, even the so-called foreign children, no one ever talk or anything. But now, Iranian, as far as Iranian, these people came out, I'm ashamed of this country, God. Who brought us to this together? I don't understand, Ateta. Take care of what we do and see, and we confirm. These people who brought us together, I don't understand. They are killing people, they cannot be one sharing this bad today. Where are you today, sir, about this today? Where did pay for the talk? People are talking like this. That 80 guy, that guy, I the best thing is on other planets called Wars. You know what things Wars? That's what they go for. I'm ashamed of that. I'm ashamed of them. The Nigerians. I'm not good. They should go to. Thank you.
All right, thank you for calling. 08036929933. 08036929933. The new Nigeria debate. Precisely what political party do you support, and how do you trust their political ideology? Hello, good afternoon.
Hello, good afternoon.
Welcome, sir.
Yeah. Thank you, Choma and Krista.
Yes, sir. What's your name?
Yes, my name is Chinedu. I'm calling from Afro.
All right, Mr. Chinedu. Please go ahead, sir.
Thank you so much. You people are learning to the current radio air casket. You think don't tell me.
No,
let's go back to the business. You see, if anything should happen to people, you see that people give this small picking, maybe small person. People really, not gonna village people be saying that. What I expected from this our president himself particularly is to address Nigeria. Let's hear from him what is going on. If you are afraid, let us know. If you are afraid, let us know. People we are many. Do you know that many people in Nigeria are more than the soldiers in the barracks? We are many. You can come out and march. You can. What is going on? Is there any signing proper? Is there any signature somewhere that is causing this problem that we are facing? Do you know that you coming outside like this, you know people are very hungry. I will not lie for you. People are very hungry, suffering everywhere, and nobody is talking anything about it. So let him address us. If there's any signing, if there's any signature somewhere, we can wipe it, erase it. Nothing is going to happen. Thank you, Choma, and great deal from you.
Thank you for your call. Thank you for supporting Voice of the People 90.3 FM. We appreciate you. 0803-692-9933. Hello.
Hello. Hi, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Esther and Chairman. Good afternoon.
Yes, sir. Please go ahead.
Yeah, I'm Mr. John, calling from Ikoton.
All right, please go ahead, sir.
Yes, what I want to say is this. It is very, very difficult and impossible to let a man who pretends to be sleeping. The three arms of government we have in Nigeria now, killing House of Senate and the Fulani, are doing. Those young men that they killed, how did they kill them? An army is an experience and train somebody or people. Because they not carry this Boko Haram and put inside the army. Any strategy, any plan for them to go and attack them will be reviewed. How can a national soldier be ambushed? Okay, there must be an insider. So whatever I'm trying to say now is that they know what they are doing. They are just watching these young people who will come and replace them, okay, and fight them. Secondly, on the issue of this election or whatever, the election result has already been retired. All these things are doing as they are just buying time and dribbling the nation as if they are Maradona in the field. You see, on the last day, you see what's going to happen. But I believe that I'm not afraid of APC campaigning or doing this and that. This election now is the election between the hungry Nigerians, the angry, and the APC. If they like, let all the governors go to APC and let them do something they want to do. And that's when the people will collect them and see what they want to vote. Unless no position format to contest. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you. It is due to know that the opposition is you, Nigerians. You're the opposition. We'll take a few WhatsApp messages. Only in Nigeria you will see repentant Boko Haram being reintegrated into the military. A terrorist is a terrorist always. Nigeria is not ready to fight insurgency. Venatius from Ojo. This person says, good afternoon, my sisters. My name is Sheyi Cots from Itere. I don't see the problem in this our country coming to an end soon. We have different ideologies, religions, and way of lives. The belief of a typical Hausa can never match that of Igbo nor Yoruba. We are forced to be together. That's just a problem. Sheyi Cots from Itere. Good afternoon, Wonder Woman. Each time I know the two of you are together in the studio, I feel so happy with your analysis. The situation in Nigeria needs God himself to give us a Messiah. If not, all hope is lost in Nigeria. I pray that the person that cast a spell of I'm not going to read the last part of your message, sir.
If you even say this one, it says, shame to all Nigerians protesting for Iran. You left insecurity ravaging your country. You are protesting for Khamenei. There is a monitoring spirit assigned to monitor VOP. His name is AB. Anaclet Anwebunga.
Anaclet, allow AB. Allow AB a beg. I think we even like it, Choma, because we had a lot of rhetorics across social media. VOP is anti-APC, VOP is opposition, VOP things like that to be part of the conversation. The balance is actually very good. AB, this guy Agbadin, that one his own is always insulting. Agbadin says we are sadists because we never see anything good with the government.
We bring the people that see something good.
They don't. So we need more of. We need more of them.
Hits for that.
Exactly. Problem. So they will say most of the callers are in their derogatory form. That most of the callers are calling the program or people of a particular extraction. I have never seen something like this. But hey, we need more ABs. Please, more ABs join. Defend the government. Come with your own bookmarks. Come with your own counterproof. Come with your facts. please. This is how we have healthy conversations.
And that's one thing I like about AB. Sometimes he will tell you, oh, this makes no sense. I still stand with Jagaban.
So he's free to support anybody who wants to support. All right, more messages.
APC is an unserious political party. They lack ideology. All the people bragging about APC winning 2027, can they tell us the solution they have to solve the problem of insecurity and election coup plotters that are terrorizing voters? This Tinubu government should bring ideas on how to solve Nigerian problems, not brag about who will win election. It's just that the system they put in place to solve is being manipulated by the politicians. Chinemere from Agbara. Good afternoon, Chairman Esther. Honestly, the present government is nothing to write home about. There is no way you are going to defend them without looking stupid. 70% of Nigerian citizens are currently wallowing in poverty and starvation. A lot of negativity is really going on in Nigeria. I am Joseph Akaniyene. Good afternoon, Choma and Esther. Many people protested in many states of the north because of one terrorist that was killed. Nobody was arrested. Anytime people try to protest in the east, they will launch Operation Python Dance and start killing people. Christopher from Lagos Island. I'm very sure that AB guy is just here to catch crews. Where is Peter Osifo? Nigeria will soon happen to him too.
Peter Osifo? Or they're referring to the other one from Abaraja?
Abaraja.
Okay, so one of Abaraja they're referring to. Peter Osifo calls more in the morning on the morning program.
Okay, but
then Peter Osifo is for the people. Peter Osifo, yes, now is the one from Obaraja that is for government.
Good afternoon, Esther Choma. Can you stop comparing Jonathan and APC government? The hand Jonathan gave his opposition is never the hand that Tinubu gave his opposition. Otta from Surulere's particular. We've taken as many messages as we can. It's time for us to go, Esther.
Yeah, interestingly, we do this every Tuesday and Thursday. So, Nigeria debate is a way of having to listen to all the political parties and their ideologies if they're people-oriented and clear out some of the narratives and speculations about these political parties. For example, there are talks that some of the political parties have been financially induced to keep quiet. We need to know if that is true. What ideology are you presenting to the people that will make the people buy your brand? I mean, how do you sell your political party and your brand for Nigerians to trust you? What are you bringing to the table other that would supposedly beat what the APC said they have on ground, and how do you intend to implement it? Nigerians are saying we're no longer going to go by your words anymore, telling us you provide us water. It has been something they use for campaigns from time immemorial, or that you provide good roads, or you're going to be more place Nigeria economically in good limelight. You will decimate and make sure no more insecurity. We've heard all of this, all right? The political party that promised change came, and it seemed like they went counter to what their party manifesto was. So how do we trust that you want to do something different? Or are you just saying this so that you're voted into power? Because there are complaints that there is something wrong in that Aso Rock. Like when you get there, something happens.
The air is different.
Something just happens. You become something else. Maybe something is controlling you. Maybe there's this diabolical thingy there that just immediately twists the entire...
Or it's the quote-unquote cabal.
Do you understand? So again, how do you think you bring something different to the table? Why should Nigerians trust? I mean, Choma, look at aviation. We're looking for alternatives in our aviation where you're not going with a particular airline. When you have more persons who operate airlines, the prices will come down. Not certain airlines who think that without them you cannot operate. And other means for transporting goods and services. Our waterways, how we're channeling it. The rail line, if not for insecurity, it would have been a very good modus operandi for an alternative transportation. Most of the roads that are bad up till now, we still talk about bad roads. Honestly. Which is a major link network for transportation of goods and services. I mean, a situation where you have more persons predominant in a particular region because their roads are good, they can't go to other states or because the roads are bad, which obviously can make them be waylaid by kidnappers. So what are you bringing to the table that is different? We're trying to have a healthy debate. From next week, we have a WhatsApp group for those of you who have interest in different political parties. If you're a Peter Obi supporter, if you're an Atiku supporter, if you're President Bola Ahmed Tinubu supporter, and APC, Kwankwaso, exactly, any one of those principles that you support, please, indicate, send us a message on WhatsApp. We'll add you to the group. We'll be inviting you to the station where we're going to have a healthy debate. You're going to tell us how your principal will do something different to supposedly ensure that maybe APC doesn't return. And if you're an APC member, what more do you think you want to project for your principal that would make Nigerians buy his market, trust whatever it is that he says, and all? So that's basically what the new Nigerian debate is all about.
If you want to be a part of the WhatsApp group, send us a message right now. Basically, what we do there is we'll update you whenever we have programs, guests, and if you want to be a part of the conversation in the studio once a month until the elections are over in 2027, right?
Yeah.
You can come to the studio and talk for your political party. I mean, sometimes when we have these people here, we might have somebody from a different political party to come and counter someone.
Exactly.
So next week, Tuesday,
yes,
we'll have people from 2 different political parties.
Or 3 different political parties.
Maybe
anyone.
APC, PDP,
NNPP, or Labour Party,
so
whatever.
If you want to be a part of the group chat, send a message right now. I'm interested. I'll take down your number and add you to the group chat. And next week, we'll have a number of people invited.
And it's not just coming into the studio to yarn dust. Make sure that you get your pointers ready. We intend to have intellectual conversations. You need to tell us precisely what is convincing about the principle you support. On Tuesday, we brought an APC stakeholder here. That was last week. A couple of you were complaining. Why? Don't you understand the concept of the new Nigerian People's Party? We will represent all the political parties. I think someone is sending a message on YouTube. Ife Oluwa Omoni or something. We brought an APC member on last week Tuesday.
In fact, we started with an APC person.
In fact, last week,
Comrade Emmanuel Idogen.
And even on Wednesday too, I invited an APC supporter, Mr. Are Oladoto Hassan. So it's we if you want to be part of it, just do the needful. My name is Esther Wachuku.
My name is Choma Innocent. Thank you for joining us. Funhouse Time with MC Chooks and Dr. Walkie Talkie comes up shortly. Enjoy the rest of your day.